are going to talk AI, okay? Because ever since O3 came out, I've noticed there's a series of YouTube videos that have been titled such as like OpenAI achieves O3, AGI achieved official. That's 224,000 views in 2 days. That's a pretty hot video. This person right here, Julia,
OpenAI
is
just
saying
dropped
officially.
their O3 announcement on Friday, December 20th. It was the 12th day of their 12 days of Christmas announcements. And I'm beyond delighted about what this means for all of us in the AI space. This isn't just another incremental update. We're witnessing a fundamental shift in what AI can do. Listen carefully. When I ventured into AI in January 2023,
Just so you know, what we're talking about OI or O3, the AI, the new AI thing. Ain't gonna make it. That's AGI stands for ain't gonna make, in parentheses, it. She sounds like an AI. She does not sound like an AI. This YouTube video right here, Internet Made Coder, has AI officially beats 99% of programmers. Like, I just want to be straight with you guys. I beat 99% of you on lead code. That has nothing to do. There's absolutely no transferable skills there. Like, right? There's like not a single one. There's not even a tiny one. Okay. Anyways, so obviously everything's coming out right now. O3 just dropped, and everybody is claiming AGI, AGI, AGI. Chubby says AGI was achieved today. Okay. This guy who apparently works at OpenAI also said AGI, or it's beginning to look a lot like AGI. Everybody loves this AGI term. And so what is this thing? Where is this all coming from? How is this all happening? It's all coming down from this ARC prize. So the ARC prize was developed to kind of effectively make difficult tests for AI to prove whether or not it actually has achieved AGI or not. Okay, so that's like the fundamental premise of it. Oh, I'm going to move my cam. I'm kind of like off screen when I'm sitting normal. There we go. Whew, I was off screen there for a second. I'm not sure what exactly happened. What is AGI? It stands for Artificial General Intelligence. It's effectively the ability for AI not just to solve any problem presented, but to be able to learn new things and like continuously get better, right? Looking at something that there's an improvement, right? Anyways, so then they drop this like sweet little thing right here, which shows the performance on this ARC-AGI semi-private evaluation. And you'll notice that it like O1 is way down here. Claude's not even on it. O1 right here is doing pretty good. And then O3 is just blowing it out of the water, right? And so this is considered something quite amazing. Now, this ARC-AGI said that their next round of tests, it's showing that even O3 is performing at a pretty small percentage, that they've been able to make it harder. But this right here makes it just seem like, oh my gosh, we are entering into a wholly new world. Prime was wrong. Why did I ever learn anything? I can't tell you how many just terrible takes there's been around this AI business. Here, hold on. Let's see if I can find one. Let's see. Let's go with Levels.io. I know Levels.io had something to say, and then it was stupid. Just give me a second. Not Levels.io being stupid, but some of the responses were just horrendous. I want to say it was in this one, but I might be wrong. Dang it! I thought it was in this one. Anyways, I think it's actually in this one, but effectively it goes along the lines. I wish I could find it, but it goes along the lines of, this is why I always say skill acquisition is so stupid in the modern age of AI. So people encouraging other people not to actually gain any sort of hard skills, because if you gain a hard skill, it's a wasted level of time, right? That by doing that, you are actually doing nothing. You're just going to simply be automated away. Now, I'm going to go with kind of the opposite set of advice, where I think that hard skills are actually really, really valuable. And I'm going to attempt to make my case about hard skills, what it means, and all of that. I'm going to also just make my case about what I think O3 is showing. Where do I think AI is going? Should you be even going into programming? I'm going to try to go over the whole 9 yards with everything. in this little experience. Okay, I took the weekend. I didn't look up any. I barely looked up anything. I just thought about just the results of everything. Okay, good. Now that everybody knows what's happening, we can move on. By the way, thank you very much, Low Level TV. I appreciate the raid. That was awesome. Can somebody Low Level Learning? You're a mod in the channel. You want to just shout yourself out because that would be like just overpowered. Sup, baby? I mean, I know you're not subbed to me, kind of weak, but that's fine. Whatever. Giga Chad move. Doesn't even sub to me, but shouts himself out. Whatever. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. All right. Got him. I'm a turbo user. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, appreciate that. You can turbo D's nuts right into your mouth. All right. So now that we kind of covered that whole thing, so that's where I want to go with all of this, is that I think that it is worthwhile to talk about. So what is O3? Is it really impressive? Yes, I'd say O3 was actually fairly impressive. It's able to solve these kind of hard little puzzles. And when I say hard little puzzles, it's not hard for a human, hard for a computer. I remember when I was first getting my master's in AI, one thing that I tried to do right off the rip was attempt to solve a classic old problem. And the old problem went something like this. It's my first time opening up GIMP. Okay, I'm a little flaccid. Just give me a second. By the way, Jabberwack, thank you for that tier 3 to low-level learning. Ho! Ho! Hi-oh! That's way too bright. All right, let's go like that. There we go. All right, so when I was first getting my master's in AI, this is like the first problem I attempted to solve just with my own abilities. I tried to read a book about AI, tried to do some basic branch trimming, some various things, and I just tried to solve this kind of classic computery science issue. And so the problem goes something like this. You have a board with a bunch of these little squares. You've seen this game before. I think even Zelda has this as one of the puzzles. And one of all the squares is actually empty. And what you need to do is you need to move one square at a time, thus causing a new empty square to be in the place where you moved the square from. And you have to create a picture out of it, right? And so the picture's all mixed up, maybe it's a big smiley face somewhere in here, but you have to kind of move all the moving squares and do all that. So I tried to create an AI that does branch trimming, tried to do various like neural nets and all that to try to solve this problem. And I was pretty terrible at it. It was a very, very hard thing to do. Yeah, I love these games too. And I just could not solve this for a long time. It was actually exceptionally hard. I wrote my solution, by the way, in C#. Just let you know, all those people who think I didn't know about C#, I was C#ing, okay, buddy? I was C#ing. It was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah. Oh, I hate this game. Oh, yeah, everybody does. And so if you look at these little problems, they kind of remind me of that set of problems. Now, I've only looked at one of the problems that it failed on. There's a whole bunch of problems down here at the bottom in which it failed on, in which this is one of them that the AI failed on really, really hard. Given these images, the input, the output, the input, the output, the input, the output. What's going to happen with this one? The AI could not solve this. It's actually not that hard of a problem. Any reasonable person would look at this and see that, okay, you extend it to here, it moved to here. So all that's happening is that these little bars right here are saying where the next position is going to be. That's the next position. This is where it's currently at. This is where the next position is going to be. All right. So you get the general idea of what is happening here. So I haven't looked at the next one. So we're going to just look at it together and see how fast we can solve it, okay? So here we go. So you have a bunch of these right here, and now we draw lines between them, and anything that gets hit by it gets highlighted blue. So there you go. That's the answer. Here to here, blue to blue. Now, me personally, with my experience in trying to create AI, this is absolutely outrageous how difficult, like, I would find this to be a very difficult problem for me just to write in general, to try to solve with an AI. Now, obviously, me just hand rolling a solution seems really easy because this is a really simple problem to kind of program up, but it would be a very hard one to have a generalized solver to be able to do this. So this is actually exceptionally impressive that this thing can even be remotely solved by AI. Like, honestly, I think that's pretty dang cool. I just wanted to make sure you guys kind of understand, what does it mean when they say AGI and what is the AGI test? It's these tests right here. This is an ambiguous puzzle. I don't think it's an ambiguous puzzle. It looks like it's very ambiguous, right? This looks very ambiguous, not ambiguous. Anyways, so by the way, so someone was so you can take this part out, Flip. Someone was telling me this is not here. Like, to get your ideas flowing, here's 3 tasks unsolved by high compute O3. So yes, these are puzzles in which O3 could not solve. Okay? Please, people. Focus, pay attention. I'm narrating the story to you. I'm like telling you what's happening. Okay, so let's look at one more puzzle that they couldn't solve. So here we go. So you got blue, red, green, cyan. Blue, red, green, cyan. Blue, red, green, cyan. Okay, it just takes the shape and does that. And it does the same thing. It looks like it takes the bottommost and goes in reverse, perhaps, is the way that you would solve this, by going in reverse or starting at the top and just doing one layer at a time. However you want to do that. There we go. All right, fantastic. I would assume you'd start in the bottommost and you'd have to draw it backwards one at a time. Okay, fantastic. So we solved the problem. It's not that hard. Okay, so you see that these problems are really simple for humans to do. It's very, very complicated for you to build something that could generalize this type of problem. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think we can all agree it's extremely impressive that this is a very simple problem to program, but a very excessively difficult problem to generalize on. And so this is, it's basic pattern recognition, basic IQ 101. That's that. Hold on. Now, I do want to highlight some things from this right here. So this is one important line from the article that I think is very interesting that they kind of talk about. So obviously, O3 did very, very good. For those that didn't see, O3 on low compute was able to solve 76% of these. On high compute, it was able to solve 88%, which is like outrageously high. Then they give you this line, which I think is pretty interesting. Of course, such generality comes at a steep cost and wouldn't quite be economical yet. You could pay a human to solve ARC-AGI tasks for roughly $5 per task. Now, I want you to ask yourself, we just solved two of these that I've never seen before. I've never seen this one, and I've never seen this one. Was that $5 worth of effort to solve those? I feel like they slightly exaggerated the cost. So I just want to throw it out there that if I could solve problems like this for $5 each, you know what? Hell, I'd do for about $3.50 each. If I could do that, I wouldn't stream anymore. I wouldn't even need to stream anymore. Brother, I would be rolling in the dough. I could solve 1,000 of these in an hour. And damn, I'd only have to work 1 day or 1 hour a day, and I'd be just rolling in it. I'd be a millionaire. So I think they slightly exaggerated how much this costs a human to solve. I'm just throwing it out there. Seems a little unreasonable. Okay, so why is this important? I was thinking about this a lot over the weekend, and the reason why I think this is important is that you could make an argument that these little coding puzzles, to be able to solve any of these little coding puzzles, means that the AI generally is fairly useful. Meaning that you give it a bunch of code, it should be able to go, okay, I understand what's happening, and here's what you want done, right? Like that's kind of the hopeful goal, is to be able to see gray plus those little colors into now this little odd bluish red green rainbow. Like to be able to have that, you should be able to say, hey, now it can start solving programming. It recognizes patterns and it's able to take a pattern and extend it. The basics really of programming. If you think about it, all programming is just an extension of recognize pattern, extend pattern. Every single time you've come up with a new way to program, it's really just an extension of a pattern you've pretty much seen. And so when I write software, one thing that I always do is that if I have a complicated like data transformation, I always make sure I separate that out from any sort of async operation, right? I will go to a server, grab that data, have it come back. You're welcome for the Discord notification. I'll have it come back. I'll call a separate function to put that data in and have it transform. The reason why I do that is because I've known through experience in pattern matching that effectively I've seen enough problems where if I mix those two things together, it's very hard to test and it's very hard to get those things right. Whereas all that experience kind of summed up make me realize that I do the fetching in one and the transformation in another one. Because if I need to, I can just transform that data myself. I can run some tests to make sure I have it if it's complicated enough. And it's like, okay, we're good to go. It's just pattern matching, right? Like that is just experience. That's just pattern matching over time. And so when I see this, I think, oh, wow, okay, so AI is getting a lot more powerful, right? AI is getting a lot better at what it's doing. Okay, so someone keeps telling me that. Okay. Hold on. No. This guy just cannot handle it. Okay, hold on. Flip, you can take this out. This guy just he must tell us it's going to be wrong. Okay, he's like, no, the lasers are wrong. The lasers are wrong. The lasers are wrong. The lasers are wrong. This is ambiguous. Your answer for the red-blue laser puzzle will be wrong. Red-blue lasers has 6 valid solutions. Your solution is wrong by ARC standards. Okay. I don't think I'm wrong. What I think happens is that based on the pattern input, anything you're directly across from is the one in which it shoots the laser for, right? It's only if you're on the same row or the same column. Now, you could argue this and this, but these are both on the same, they're both contained in the same row, but they're also contained in the same, or they're contained in different rows, but they're not at the edges, right? This one is not at the full edge from each other, so it's always maximum length. Now, you could say, well, it could shoot it this way and this way. No, it can't. That would probably break the rules. Sorry, I just think that breaks the rules. Now, you're trying to convince me that it's something along these lines. I don't think so. That's just not how it works. It's the full length. It's obviously the full length because I have a human brain, and my human brain, through very little effort, can easily see that it's very little, that it's just that. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Laser across, laser across, laser across. It's full length. It's clearly full length. Right? If it's not full length, then your examples are bad. That's just that. Now you could say, well, it should. That's not how it works. The creator discussed the problem in Twitter. Okay. Fantastic. I still think that would be, I still think that's the intent of this problem, right? The intent of this problem is that it's full across. I think Prime is one of the few staying calm, which is why I respect the dude. Yeah, I'm trying to stay calm here. I'm not like, dude, did I not just glaze the AI for like the last 3 minutes? Right? There is no case in the training. Yes. So this is where what's it called? Induction is required. Right? I'm able to say, you know what? There is no training data where they show that, but I can tell the underlying item. By the way, I'm getting follow botted for those that are wondering. I think it's because I'm doing something with AI. So sorry if you guys are seeing just a cajillion follows and it's screwing everything up. You know, whatever. It's not a big deal. It happens. They'll get deleted. I'm pretty sure if I go into here and I go users and chat, pretty sure if I look in here, typically, okay, there's not. Interesting. Okay, I have no Twitch staff. Typically, there's Twitch staff in here. Sorry. Hey, Twitch staff, just so you know, I'm getting botted. You can take them off. I'd be appreciative. You should also ban the person because they're stupid. Right? Okay. Anywho. Okay, so I feel like I've kind of set up the picture pretty good, right? O3 has the ability to solve some level of problems pretty well. Okay. Very, very good. Now, the argument obviously being, let's see. Let me say it this way. Because O3 can solve some pretty good, can solve a lot of the data pretty well. The argument being made for this one is that there is no training data in which there's this setup right here, from dot to dot. But my argument would be, as a human, I can understand the intent of this puzzle, whereas perhaps its ability to generalize only says it has to be row and column the same, and that's it, right? Mine is a little bit different. My reasoning is probably a little bit more holistic. Whatever. We can argue yes or no on that one. It doesn't really matter. I would say that I'm correct, and I'd say that it's fairly obvious. Anyways, so O3 does struggle with some basic stuff, and if you don't give it the entirety, which I think is very interesting, if you don't give it the entirety of how to do something, or the input space is not big enough for it to be able to reasonably extrapolate the output space, it fails miserably. Not great, but still, it's doing much better than anything I could program. It's very, very impressive. So here's where the things that I think that it's going to be, or here's the set of things that I think are going to be very interesting in the next 5 years when it comes to AI. I think Devin shows something that's pretty cool in the sense that you can give it, if you give an AI the full ability to access Git, you allow something that's effectively a while true at the top that keeps on pushing, keeps on running over and over again. It's like automated reasoning, allowing it to be able to build up a map of what to do, take that map of what to do, be able to execute and actually manipulate a system based on what to do, and then be able to commit and having some sort of guidelines to be able to allow human intervention at some point. I think that that's actually a pretty kind of cool base case for where LLMs can go. Meaning that I should be able to, theoretically, have 4 Devons open at one time, each of the 4 fixing little bugs for me, theoretically fixing bugs for me, while I co-create a new feature. And then I look at each one of theirs, and maybe they got half the solution. For those that haven't seen, I did ask a Devon to do some some features for me and some bugs for me, and everything that it did was all underwhelming, meaning that it never quite solved the thing, but it gave me the basics for how to solve it or what they think should be done. I was able to take it, run with it, and solve pretty quickly from there. So it does save me a bit of groundwork. And so, fantastic, right? But Devon is also $500 a month, and I don't think Devon's using O1. I think it's probably using Jippity 4 or Cloud, something a little bit cheaper. Okay, so now that we got that part kind of covered, I think there's a lot of cool stuff. If you look at this, it's excessively expensive. And even here, it admits that it's economically not that viable. So one problem you have is time. So this is one of the economics that I think is difficult. This time right here is quite a bit, 1.3 minutes. So I run circles around it, right? I'm 10, 20x faster than the AI at solving this problem. Okay, fantastic. I'm that fast, but does that really matter? Everyone will say, hey, we're going to go way, way faster. Eventually, it'll be so fast it won't even matter, blah, 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 blah. I want you to also look at the input space. This is not a lot of data. This is not a lot of data. How fast is it going to solve this same problem, but with 7 million line code base, a 1 million line code base, hell, a 500,000 line code base? Like, that time is going to go northward by a significant portion because the input space is just going to be giant. There's a lot more reasoning. There's a lot more context that is needed by far. So it's just not the same. It's not even like the problem is like a different problem in magnitude by several magnitudes. Yeah, the context window needs to be significantly larger. So the next big thing you want to take away is the cost. So the cost right here for this O1 to be able to solve any of these little problems, for it to be able to solve the 100 little tasks that we just got done showing, so it's going to be versions of that same problem. Those 100 tasks cost $2,000. And assuming that this is the average, I should be able to take this and say it took it approximately 130 minutes, or no, not 130 minutes. I'm completely stupid. What would that be? That would be time per task is 1.3 minutes. Oh yeah, that would be 130 minutes, 2 hours, and I can't do a point there. I'm not very good at doing points. That'd be 2.166 forever repeating. Anyways, 2.16 forever repeating hours. I know it's 10 minutes. I was trying to do the point, not do the 10 minutes. 2.16 forever repeating, right? 2.16 forever repeating amount of minutes that it took for this thing to run. And that's how much it costs. So probably having a bit of a magnitude problem here. So now let's assume that it requires 10x the amount of input, 100x amount of the context. How much more expensive is it? Not to mention, when you solve a problem, solving a bug or solving a problem isn't as simple as looking at space this big, right? There is no example output. Instead, it has input, which is going to be a pretty terrible description by a developer. Then it's going to have a 500,000 line code base in which it's going to have to search through. And then it's going to have to figure out, it's going to have to solve what? Maybe 1,000 versions of these before it actually does it. So economically speaking, just even from this standpoint, O3 is going to be very untenable on the low compute side. On the high compute side, it's going to be exceptionally untenable both in time and in cost as of right now. Because remember, high compute's 172x. So it has to get 100 times better before it costs twice as much. That's a lot. That's just a lot. And I know people are saying, and my big kind of like point of contention with all this is that people always do this thing where they go like this. Well, that's fine. It's not a big deal because in 10 years, our stuff will be way faster. It's like, yeah, it will definitely be faster. I don't know if it's way faster. We're running up against a lot of problems right now. You know that whole like light thing? Like that, this has kind of been problematic lately. This has kind of been problematic for like the last 10 years, this whole light thing. It's hard. We ain't going faster very much anymore. Light, yeah, that's the speed. It's the speed in which we can actually have things flow. So even if we get down to 1 nanometer and get down to, or even a half, 0.05 nanometer, we are still bound by a single value, which is how fast we can go right here. AI compute speeds are increasing. That's just because they're brand new. So someone just said AI compute speeds are increasing much faster than Moore's law. That's because they're brand new, right? Like when we just started going with processors were moving pretty quick for a little bit, and then they started going down, and then they got really fast. They do something like this. Like we just started with this whole AI thing. I guarantee you there's probably at least a 2 to 3x inefficiency just as being a part of the system. Can we all agree that probably just exists? So they could make it 2 to 3x more efficient just by being smarter with the system. I assume we all agree with that. And this is just pretty normal, right? Pretty normal. But AI as of right now, for O3 to be in practical use, for everybody to be able to use in a more like holistic way, to be able to really support their job as the ability to go out and do something for them, right? It doesn't need to get 10x faster. It doesn't need to get 100x faster and cheaper. It doesn't even need to get 1,000x faster and cheaper. It needs to get about 10,000x faster and cheaper. And maybe even 100,000x faster and cheaper. So though it's super, super cool, right now economically, you couldn't do that. You would spend 3 hours with O3 high compute and you would spend your salary for the month. And it would be able to solve some basic puzzles for you. It might even solve a couple bugs for you. But that's like, are you pulling these numbers from your asses? No, I'm pulling them from the chart given to me by OpenAI. So that's gonna be difficult. Now, using Devin, I really enjoyed my use of Devin. When I tried to use Devin in the real way, where I actually get it to solve bugs, and that's it on a bigger code base, it actually did pretty good. I was generally pretty happy about that, right? And so my assumption is that if I could use a better learning model, it may take a lot longer time, but it may result in bigger or better, items. But if it cost me, if Devin, like, honestly, if I was not me, I would not use Devin in its current price range. I don't think it's worth it yet. Like, I think Devin needs to be about 10x better itself before you could really use it. That's what I think in a professional position. I'm just not convinced that it could do a great job. $500 for 62 hours. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let me just do a little bit of cleanup. I'm just gonna do a little bit of cleanup. I don't care about this guy. I don't care. I don't like your caps. $500 a month, and I saw how long it took just to create a PR. There's no way an average person is gonna be. Yeah. I think you gotta. There's a lot of problems. Okay, so there's a lot of problems you gotta think about. So when you're thinking about these automated solutions, we haven't even talked about security. Security is really, really important. We don't have any idea about the security. Second off, we know that LLMs are particularly terrible at security. Like, this is something that a bunch of these people that are running the core utils for Linux have complained about, specifically curl guy. The I in LLM stands for intelligence. Like, it's actually really bad at these things, right? Security is a huge issue. Autocomplete API key, yeah, autocomplete API key. Getting hacked while using Devin Live was so funny. Yes, perhaps I got hacked while using Devin Live. That did happen. That did actually happen due to the security problem. Okay, security problem did happen. I did get hacked. They did fix it. Hey, to be completely fair on Devin's side, they did fix it. Dude, that's crazy talk. Yes, way. They did fix it. So I don't want to just dunk on them. What would your opinion be if the cost of O3 is cheap? So let's just pretend they could make the cost of O3 10,000 times cheaper. Meaning this goes down to 20 cents for it to solve these 100 tasks. Because in my personal opinion, to be able to solve a bug in a larger code base, it costs about that much. It's going to cost about that much. So it's going to have to get about 10,000 times cheaper for O3. And then, yes, I would say that it could probably be a useful Devin. You could probably use it alongside yourself. O3 mini is cheaper than O1 mini. And sure, but can it solve? But I don't see it. I don't know if it solves these tasks as well. Is it going to be super useful in the sense of once you get somewhere? Wait, 20 cents a bug? If you could do 20 cents a bug, then it's useful for you, right? And the thing is, you got to remember, when I say 20 cents a bug, it's not 20 cents a bug, okay? First off, you have to formalize it. You have to be able to track the bug. You have to be able to create the bug, okay? That's going to cost whatever amount of dollars it costs for your time, plus the person who discovers the time, plus any sort of validation that goes into this bug, right? There's real costs associated outside of the AI. Second off, when the AI hands a solution, how many devs need to go and then review the code? How much extensions are needed to the code? How much more stuff do you need to actually put in place? Just like I said, when I used Devin, it did the thing correctly. It just didn't do all the other stuff correctly. So there's still so much to it. Like, yes, AI is super cool. It's great at solving basic problems. It is so amazing that it has a generalized problem solver. Like, it is truly, truly, truly an amazing thing. Like, I'm not trying to dunk on that. It's a feat of engineering that I think is absolutely, hands down, incredible. No sarcasm, not a sense of sarcasm. I do think it's remarkable engineering. Absolutely. Anyone who's done, or anyone who's studied AI, who's wrote their own multi-layered perceptron, anyone who's done it knows for 100% that's incredible. It is remarkable. I don't want to dunk on that, but it's unable to push to master. That's because Devin has safety guardrails on it, okay? That's all it is. It's incredible for what it is. Now, as far as future predictions go, I think that AI is most certainly going to continue. They're going to continue to do what they're doing right now, right? So what makes O3 special? O3 is special because what it does is it just takes your base LLM, your GPT-4 or whatever it's using underneath the hood, and it takes it to produce its own chain of thought and keep running GPT-4 over and over and over and over again. That's why this same test is using 5.7 billion tokens on high compute versus 33 million tokens on lower compute. That's a lot of tokens. It's just asking itself, right? This is like the classic way you make an LLM better, is that you don't just ask it to solve the problem. You ask it to first build out the step-by-step solution of the problem. Then to get even better, you can say, hey, here's the step-by-step solution of the problem. Could you please generate me a couple different examples of how I could solve this? Then you take all those different things, then you refeed it back in and then be like, hey, this is a suggested fix for the problem. Are these two things correct, or should we even do more kind of iteration on top of it? You're just iterating, getting it to come up with better and better solutions. They call it simulated reasoning. That is why they use that. I think they even use it in here. Simulate. No, they don't use that. That is what reasoning is it's using its own ability to produce stuff based on input and output to create bigger and bigger kind of ideas of where to go. Chains of thought. No, I haven't seen any of this one. I know that OpenAI is desperate for data, and I don't blame them for being desperate for data. The hard part is that when the whole world starts using ChatGPT, you have like a necessary problem of data. What are they going to do? Right? It's a really hard problem to solve. Like, if your job is to get novel solutions to feed into something, yikes. Like, that's hard. That's a hard problem to solve. And it gets harder and harder and harder because people may become more and more and more, they may become more resistant to giving AI data. And unless if AI can generate better data. Yeah, that's only if AI can generate better data, which I don't think we're quite there yet. I know that's considered a big, a big push from these companies, is to figure out how to just artificially generate the data. Because once they can artificially generate the data, then it's a lot easier. It's like a lot easier. Right, but it's not there. Yeah, explore the problem space breadth first. So it's interesting. Hey, thank you for CareSec. Appreciate that. As an person, my personal opinion on LLMs alone will not get us to AGI. As impressive as they have fundamental limitations. We can extend them with great tools to build new architectures, or hybrid ARC is required for AGI. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot more problems that come with it. Artificial general intelligence is going to be a big leap, and I don't think we're even close there yet. I think we've definitely seen something that's really cool, but I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time believing that being able to solve these puzzles right here is a great version of what AGI is. The real world is a lot different, and things are a lot more messy, right? This is very clean data. This is very, very obvious data. Like, the real world is very messy and disgusting and broken and incomplete. And we make bad decisions, and we have to go by like a whole bunch of gut feels to do stuff. It's a very weird kind of set of data. This is very clean. And so it still struggles, but it's doing great. Again, I don't want to dunk on it by saying, oh, it's bad. It's quite amazing. Oh, interesting. Hey, thank you, Valorant, for adding a gift. Oh, cool. Valorant's adding gifted subs. That's awesome. Do you think this is an unexpected big leap or just a natural progression? I think this is just simply a natural progression. Like, we've all seen this. Anyone who's been using LLMs for a while now knew for a fact this was happening, and this made perfect sense. We all saw this happening. We all saw that if you took an LLM and just asked it to do one thing by itself, it's not going to do nearly as good as if you ask an LLM to expand upon itself and then refeed it back in and to recreate it. Right? That actually, it makes a big difference. So simulated reasoning is just a lot of that. And so I think that this is just a natural progression of LLMs. This is taking LLMs very, very far out. This is what they wanted O1 to be. We baited them to release a not ready model. Yeah, maybe you're right. I have no idea. The O series is an RL architecture with evaluator reword model. Yeah. The innovation with O1 is that they directly, that they train directly on chains of thought. O3 integrates search of natural language programs. Most excellent. But still, I don't think this is like a change in kind. I don't think this is a change in technology. We're still all in the same kind of category, right? We're still in the same category of AI. We haven't done something that's massively different yet. And so here we go. So here's my future prediction for AI. My future prediction, which I often don't do future predictions. I'm not going to put any times on this. I'm not going to say something as stupid as thousands of days that Samuel Jippity Altman said. There's going to exist a certain period of time in which we are no longer going and trying to improve this current process, but some new future jump may or may not happen. I cannot tell you when it's going to happen. Maybe it happens in my lifetime. Maybe it happens in the next year. Maybe it happens in 6 months. I've heard that 6 months is a very normal amount of time to measure everything. Something at some point will make a leap, and it will be much better. And maybe its curve looks like this. And this will be very, very good. And this will actually be more and more useful. Now, I don't think during our current phase, people are going to lose jobs. And the reason why I don't think people are going to lose jobs is actually pretty simple. Why am I not drawing the straight line? There we go. There's the straight line. The reason why I don't think people are going to be losing jobs with this is that every single time we've made it easier to make something, jobs go up. Now, the day that OpenAI fires all of its engineers and all of its researchers and stops scraping the internet for answers is the day they achieve AGI. That's the day they actually achieve something that can solve problems, that can actually solve real world problems and continue on to get better and better and better. That's like, this is the real marker. This is the real marker. And you know what? They're probably not going to release that. My assumption, which would be crazy of anybody to release that, is why would you ever release this? If you could build anything you want and you could build it faster than any human ever, why would you not use that to build everything, every competing product, start making money, start running as fast as possible? Oh, you need a SaaS for this? I got your SaaS for this. Oh, you need me to build you a mom and pop website? $500 and I'll have it up in 3 minutes for you. Right? Like you would just never release that. A lot of jobs have been made obsolete. Yeah, I understand a lot of jobs have been made obsolete. But as of right now, in the programming world, every time programming has gotten easier, more jobs have been created. And obviously, we just keep on moving up the chain of abstraction. Remember, at one point, you had to concern yourself with the rotational velocity of the drum of memory that was there to be able to achieve performance. Memory was stored in drum, and read instructions were stored in drums, and you had to time your reads out and various things with the rotational speed of this. Like, that was a thing. That was a reality of life. Then at some point, we are able to move from drum memory, which was a spinning, rotating, reading, super crazy thing, into something that's going to be reading more from disks, right? And so now the rotation is a little bit easier, and this like sector reading and everything is a lot easier, and you don't have to think about it. It's orders of magnitudes faster. You just don't even have to consider it. It was much, much better. This erased an entire field of expertise. But this created an entire new field of applications. The creation of the GPU, which allows us to be able to create more and be able to run things easier and not have to worry nearly as much about what goes through a CPU as we once did, has not reduced the amount of graphics needs. It has only increased the amount of graphics needs. One would argue that developing a game prior to GPUs was really, really hard because you had to concern yourself with everything running through a lot of these. And a lot of those processors were like, you just get one. Maybe if you're lucky, you're going to get two. Holy cow, two? Two full-ass CPUs? That's crazy! Right? And so every single time thus far we've made some sort of technological improvement, we've been able to have more in computer world. Because all it does is it opens it up to a broader base of people to be able to create. The size of the applications you can create grows. Like everything does not, it just doesn't implode on itself. And so I don't have any reason to believe that increasing the speed in which I can fix bugs or even partially develop / co-develop features is somehow going to make less software rules. The only thing I think is going to be bigger software. Bigger software further challenge AI. More people are needed. Now, there does probably exist a certain point at some point way farther in life in which this will no longer be the case. And maybe that's in 10 years, maybe that's in 6 months, maybe that is in 100 years. I have no idea. Maybe it's not even technically possible. Maybe the limitations of our physical reality actually deny the existence of this ever to even be created. We just don't know this answer. And I don't think that's going to happen. Give me an example of your so-called bigger software. Sure. How many lines of, easy answer. How many lines of code do you think Doom 1 was? How many lines of code do you think Path of Exile is? Path of Exile was like literally not possible 30 years ago. Like literally not possible. At least 4. There you go. Bro, the CRUD app I'm working on is 100,000 lines of code. Think about that for a second. I'm quite positive that's larger than Doom. Bro's working on a CRUD app that's bigger than Doom. Okay, just think about that for a second. Okay, they had to make up math with floating point operations to make that shit work. This guy's getting stuff from a database and displaying it in a table. How is the physical realities deny the possibilities? I never said that. I said that there may not be the physical oomph available in matter or we may be limited by some physical reality that we cannot proceed further, that we cannot make AGI cheap enough to be able to be used regularly. What if we can only reduce the cost, hear me out, by 1,000x? Now remember, that's a lot of x. Okay, I don't think any of us would be like, I think we'd all be shocked if they can reduce the cost 1,000x. Like that's a lot of cost. That brother, that is a lot of reduction. And when you do your first 1,000x, which they've effectively done, your next 1,000x is going to be a lot. That's going to be a lot harder. I think we'd all be shocked. We'd all be shocked. At that point, O3 might be more practical when it comes to daily tasks. Would that probably remove you out of the job? Probably not. So again, it just might be too expensive. Quantum computing, I don't think you have any idea what that even means. Whenever I see someone mention quantum computing, I can tell you one thing. You don't even know what it means. That's it. You just hear that phrase and you see it on Google and you're just like, yeah, for real, dog. For real, on God, quantum. Dog, quantum compute, qubits, dog, logical qubits are happening. Shit, it's solving stuff. Dude, like there's like a cloud. There's like a cloud and electrons, and then there's not. And then there's the answer, okay? So think about that. Quantum. But there just has to be something else, right? And so maybe one day we can do quantum computing plus AI. I don't even know what the hell that even means. Something superposition. Yeah, just superposition, observe, right? Right. And so, yeah, maybe one day that will happen. You know, maybe the quantum leap happens and everything's different, and now we're able to do stuff at a much faster rate. Right? It's much faster rate. That'd be fantastic. And maybe there's chips that are going to make things a much faster. Maybe at some point we could get literally 1 billion tokens per second. That'd be incredible. That's a lot of tokens. I mean, that's a lot of tokens. That's like a lot. Like, I mean, just think about the memory that's required. That's a lot of gigabits to be stuffing through a processor. What's going to come first, fusion or energy or AGI? I mean, Willow is here and said to use a different dimensions. Yeah, Willow. Yeah, there's other things that are happening. Who knows what it's going to look like? But as of right now, I don't think during this current line, I don't think anyone has to worry that life is going to be so fundamentally altered that they now just sit in front of a computer playing video games. Right? Like, that's it. You only get UBI. You get to do nothing. And that's that. I think that even when AI comes out to the point where it's really, really useful at all points, I think you will end up finding that a whole new field opens up. And if you have the technical mind, I think that it will only make you more viable here. If you have hard skills, you are more viable here. I don't think it makes you less viable. I think it makes you more viable. Right. And so I think we are still several iterations away from no job land. Several iterations, right? We have to first take Jeopardy. Remember, not only that, like, let's just talk practicalities for a quick second. When was the last time a change happened and then that change made it into corporate world? Like, don't forget, the internet was in the 90s. TCP was invented in 76. JavaScript was 1994. Or no, 95. Was it December 95 or December 94? I'm going to go with December 95. I may be incorrect on this one, okay? Python was 1989. Python was not. I just refuse to believe that Python was 1989. I actually refuse to believe that. I'm just going to pretend what you just said was a lie. Unix was 69. Anyways, nice, by the way. Okay. Python was 91. Okay, that's way better. 91, at least it's in the 90s. If it was in the 80s, I'm just like, yeah, right. Pascal would never let that happen. Pascal would have shivved Guido. All right. Okay, so now that we see all these things, you just got to, like, practically speaking, if AI was pretty good, let's just say Devin was an order of magnitude better than it is right now. Remember, order of magnitude, that's still a lot of improvements. It's still going to take years before the company can really, like, integrate their life with this. And I'm pretty sure that if every company was able to write 10x the code, they're not going to fire engineers. They're going to probably need to hire more engineers. Right? 10x the code means how many versions of Devin do you need running at all points in which is going to be reorganizing and preventing bugs? 1,000 Devins? How many are we talking here to be able to handle that? Probably everyone could run a company by then. Yeah, I know. 10x the code equals 20x the bugs. I know. Bugs, remember, are disproportional. They're disproportional to the amount of code, right? Disposable code. Disposable code is expensive, though. Disposable code is both expensive and risky. You must understand that. So this is kind of like a new thing that's also really kind of, I think, is cropped up due to the AI world that we live in, where people think that code should be very disposable. The faster code changes, the more problems generally with that software. It doesn't go the other way. The more something changes, the more danger it is. And that has been that way thus far. So, again, I don't see anything from a practical standpoint of things changing. Sorry, the reason why I do all this is because it just feels like people have lost their gosh dang mind on the internet, okay? Brother sees a Christmas tree in AGI, and people are like, yep, shouldn't learn hard skills in 2025. And you're like, damn, that's a crazy take. You're really believing that everything is going to change completely? Like, it's good to learn how to use AI. Hey, let's be real. I used Devin. A whole bunch on stream, and him and I actually did a great job. We worked together. Yeah, I had to fix all of his code, but nonetheless, my boy Devin, we were able to fix up one of my projects and make some pretty cool stuff. Okay? And I also want you to remember a very key factor. I really need you to know these things. Can everybody please recall November 2021? Was it November 2021 or 2022 when Copilot came out? I think it was 2021. How many people told you you were going to lose your job? Like, literally all of them. The amount of people saying, that's it, it's over. It's over for programmers was really, really high. And then when Jippity 4 came out, oh man, Jippity 4, that's the end. You shouldn't even learn hard skills now that Jippity 4's out. Let's see. I want to hear, did anybody actually quit learning hard skills due to Jippity 4? Are you now no longer useful due to Jippity 4? You don't think they are saying immediately? They literally said 6 months. That's the joke. The joke is we are 19 months into 6 months away from you not having a job. Jippity 4 just made a bunch of people program a lot more code. That's all Jippity 4 did. That's real. Like, that's all it did. Okay, O1 comes out. O1 is able to like reason heavily comparatively to GPT-4. Again, is it so over? Is it completely gone? It just keeps happening repetitively, right? The reason I bookmarked this intentionally, because I thought this was funny. Look at this, March 2nd. They know AGI has been achieved internally. Act cool. September 26th, breaking. Sam Altman says AGI have been achieved internally. He actually had to say, guys, this is a joke. This is a joke, everybody. And then now this has happened again. AGI achieved internally. Now instead we just see a load of YouTube videos. AGI achieved internally again. I'm not saying that it's not going to change your life. AI will change your life. In the next 10 years, your life will be different. The way you develop is going to be different. Everything that you're probably doing now will be different to some amount. Okay? Absolutely. It's already different. But is it gone? No. Yeah, I know, TJ, we both lost our jobs the year that GPT-4 came out. Also, lastly, I do want to make a really good point to this last one. I just saw it. Hold on. What are the experts saying, though? I'm going to make a really, 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 really good point here. When it comes to an expert, they are not good at making generalities. Okay? They are good at one thing, which is the thing they're an expert in. And this typically means that when they speak outside of their realm of expertise, they almost usually get it wrong. This is like the classic. This is the classic debacle that has ever existed in humankind. You have one person that's great at math, and then brother that's good at math hits you with some philosophy, and it's batshit crazy because he's an expert in one thing. Like, that doesn't make you an expert at everything. Wait a second. Neil deGrasse Tyson isn't the go-to source of information for everything? Neil deGrasse Tyson literally said that Elon Musk did nothing impressive when catching a rocket, and that NASA could do that too. First off, NASA hadn't done that. Second off, that's actually that's very impressive that SpaceX caught a rocket, okay? That's crazy. I think we should all go, wow, you caught a rocket. That's amazing. Instead, deGrasse's like, nah, that's not that great. You're like, no, that's crazy. That's actually pretty cool. Chopstick catching rocket is pretty cool, and I think it's pretty cool. It's just experts often make dumb statements, and it's okay. Amateurs, right? Let's see. Okay, here we go. But it feels like bad ROI to follow CS programs right now, first year university. I feel like I should be learning AI tools. Again, I don't think any hard skills are going away. I will say soft skills are good. You should practice those. But basic hard skills, building a CRUD app, is going to change the most. If all you do is take request in, select star from table, bring back down, display a new table, you're right. That's probably going to get automated away, or at least severely changed where one person can do a whole bunch. Okay? Okay. Guys, again, please just, I said Elon Musk, then I said SpaceX, because I knew if I said Elon Musk, it's going to trigger a bunch of stupid thoughts. You know what I meant. You know that what I meant was it was incredible that a company shot a piece of metal that weighs tons upon tons upon tons into space with a giant fire, and when that fire stopped happening, it reoriented itself with more fire and then fell back down with no parachutes and landed into like a 40 by 40 meter square. Can we just all stop making tiny minor points about nothing? Can we just move on to the cool thing, which is, holy shit, a rocket was just caught. How does this happen? How? Nah, easy, dude. Can we just stop for a second with that? Yeah, but you know what? We should really just, Elon's stupid though. It's like, yeah, sure, fine, great. He's stupid, but the rocket was still caught and that was awesome. Okay, I'm on the rocket train. Okay, I'm over here with that red rocket going, wow, that's a cool red rocket. Like, maybe just who cares if it's not worded perfectly well, okay? The autism is showing. Bring it down a level. Hey, we're on Team Red Rocket, okay? Well, it's red from fire. All right. There we go. All right. Hell yeah, brother. Team Rocket, yeah. You said Rizm with the tism. I did say Rizm with the tism. I'm getting rizzed with the tiz right now. Okay, so there you go. That's all my thoughts on this O3 stuff. I think that's a little bit more put together, TJ, than when we did it. I don't have BTT enabled because I just got done. Nightshade, dude, I just got done deleting my computer. Okay, I have a lot of things missing. BTTV is on the bottom of my list as far as things I need to get back into my computer. Okay, look at this. I just got it up this morning because when I start Vim, it's still this thing. I don't know why. I think I forgot. I actually forgot to initialize the sub modules and bring in my version of NeoVim. Okay, I forgot to do that. So I still don't even have that. This thing's not even installed. Okay, I got a couple of problems. Just let it happen, okay? Just let it happen and shut up. Yeah. Yeah, you tell him, Sprays. You tell him. What about sales and support being impacted by LLMs? I think support definitely is going to have some level of impact by LLMs, for sure. I think support is going to be the first one because most of support is literally taking input tokens and finding the best answer from the documentation and giving output tokens, right? Like that's definitely going to be hit by LLMs, for sure. But sales is such a personal job. I would be a bit more surprised to see that happen. Like right now, have you ever thought of the reason why your company uses Stash over GitHub? I'm going to tell you this much. It's not because Stash is objectively better than GitHub. It's not because GitHub's objectively better than GitLab. It's because your bro, Thomas in sales, got done talking to Charlene from Jira or Atlassian, and they made an agreement to use Stash, and now your whole company uses Stash. Yeah. O3, I'm sure O3 Mini is pretty impressive. I have not played around, to be completely fair, I have not played around with O3 Mini. O3 Mini, probably super cool. I'm sure it could make, if it can go fast enough, I bet you could make something like Devin even more useful, right? But just so you know, the reason why you use the crappy software you do at your enterprise job is not because it's objectively the best piece of software. It's objectively the software that two friends shook hands on, and now your life is stuck in a Jira ticket. May God have mercy on your soul. The name is the Primogen. Rust came out in 1866 and AI still could master it. Let's go. My life is a Jira ticket. Yeah, lots of Jira tickets. I mean, that's just the reality. Since we're talking VCS, check Jiu-Jitsu VCS, written in Rust, by the way, by a Googler. All right, nice. Wouldn't everyone just be their own boss if AGI eliminated all jobs? Yeah. Philosophically, I think that if AI eliminated all jobs, I think we'd probably enter into the worst culture of all time. I think generally what will end up happening is that we get stuck in this world in which people's purpose goes to zero. And that we have all the entertainment of the universe, but we actually have no meaning, right? It's like the Hunger Games or Roman Colosseum style. We would just keep leaning into entertainment until it just becomes insanity, right? I think that it would actually go way worse than way better, right? Wait, so you're saying my life has a purpose now? You already know it does. Brain rot maxing. I think that life would only get worse, right? No, I don't. But thank you for saying that. Wally, yeah, Wally. Yeah, Wally is good. Wally is good. Yeah. We literally just tear something down just to feel something, right? That's it. Why does I3 look different? Nah, I don't know how to get rid of this. These blue lines. That's just the theme I'm using. That's all. Do you think it's Let's see. Do you think it's a good idea to say that you use AI during interviews as a senior engineer, or keep it a secret? That's interesting. So the problem with this is actually a really interesting question. That's a super interesting question. Do you think it's a good idea to say you use AI during an interview as a senior engineer, or keep that secret? The problem, let's see, how do I say this? There's kind of two roads you're going to go down when you say you use AI. One road is you have the pragmatist, the person that thinks that at the end, the only thing worth is how much output you create. They're not going to care that you do or don't use an AI, long as you output enough value. That's it. What about the other side? The other side is going to be like the artisanal developer. They're going to care deeply that you use AI, and it's going to offend them. And so me personally, if you use AI excessively in your interviewing, I would not bring it up unless they ask. The reality is that you have still chances to this day to get people that get their feathers ruffled for no apparent reason. Right? Nah, too soon. I think most people think that it's cheating them instead of expanding. Nah, I don't think so. I think generally people see it either as just kind of novel and whatever. There's some people obviously that are like the maximalists don't learn hard skills, and then there's the other people that just look at it as like purely a net negative. I'm not convinced it's purely a net negative. What do you think? Let's see. What do you think? How far can OpenAI reduce the cost of O3 in the near future? In the near future, one could never say. Again, for it to be practical, I think it needs to be. I think it needs a 10,000x reduction. Right. I don't see how you can make O3 useful for everybody. Like O3, not O3 Mini, because I don't know. I haven't played with O3 Mini. I don't know any of the stats on it. But O3, I don't know how you can make O3 of practical usefulness without a 1,000x to 10,000x reduction. Yeah. So there's that. Saying one shouldn't learn hard skills without naming an alternative is just toxic. Yes. Well, the alternative is just only use AI. Like, that's literally the alternative. Do you have a plan to test a Dev in a larger code base? I did. I tested it in my Devon. I tested it in my Devon repo, and it like I said, I'll do this. Here we go. So I got the test Devon in a larger repo. It was about 10,000 lines of code, so not too large. And if this is what it takes to solve a problem, Devon was correctly able to identify the core part of solving a problem, but it struggled a whole bunch in finding all the little integration points throughout a larger project. And again, only 10,000 lines long. So yes, it could solve the problem, and it made a good PR. But every single PR it made, I had to go through and find all the connection points, fix all the extra things on the side. So Devon, pretty good at solving problems, pretty bad at integrating at this point. All right, I gotta go pee again. I'll be right back. Hey, hi. Hey, hi. Sorry, hi. Hey, hi. Hi, hi. Hey, hey, hey. Hey and hi. Hey and hi. Is a bird prototype? No. And you're dead to me. Okay, there you go. Prime, you mentioned you work 60 hours a week. How are your knees, man? What do you do to keep myself healthy? Well, in between me and my office right here, I actually have a gym with a squat rack, a Peloton bike, a punching bag, a Jacob's ladder, glute ham, and like pulley one to be able to do pull downs and pull up bar and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I do that. Right? 60 hours. You got soft hands, brother. Yeah. What headphones do I use? AKG 712s. Yeah. So, like for this morning, I did a quick little workout. That was kind of nice. Jacob's Ladder Sick. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. Are you posting on YouTube the O3 streams I missed? Yeah. I mean, it's on there. You also, Dev Jocko, you can also see it too yourself on Twitch. What about doing a pole dance? That's a very good idea. That's a good idea. I won't. AKG is a good brand. Yeah, I like them. By the way, I got a lot of thank yous to do. Let's do a lot of thank yous, and then I think I'm doing a hack and stash with Thor. Yeah, eyeball pain. Yeah, if you're noticing it's a little wet, I just put some. Oh man, my eye's gonna water again. Now that I think about it, whenever I think about it, I have to I get all that. So I think it's about time to do some hack and stash with Thor. Yeah. Let's see. Where is that? Hey, Snoopix, appreciate that. Let's go, Snoopix. Thank you, Nike. Appreciate that. By the way, I got follow botted, so I might not see some of your notifications.
Hi, King Ape Devin here. Thank you for the kind words. You can have my banana.
Brother, I'd love to have your banana. What am I, a noob? Yes, you are. Thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it. Keep it up, boss. Hope you and your family having a Merry Christmas. See Horsley, thank you. I'm no longer worried about AI. Good. I'm happy. I'm actually happy to see that. Hopefully, becoming a subject matter expert should help. But I think there's levels of what is a good subject matter expert, right? Like, I think one thing, if being a subject matter expert means you have to memorize a bunch of algorithms, I think you're gonna lose to an AI. All right.
Give me the meat.
Ooh, and give it to me raw. Damn, son. Hold on. Let me just explain this little thing. I think you will get replaced by an AI if what you consider being an expert is memorizing algorithms or just doing a CRUD app. These things are what AIs excel at because just simple CRUD, there's a cajillion examples of these. Algorithms, there's all the formal definitions and versions of the code out there for everything to see. Right? So, like, if you're like, oh, I'm the greatest person at doing line segment collisions, I don't think you're actually.
When Jeopardy eats enough of its own dog mess, we'll be so back.
That's right. I'm talking. Shut up. Alerts off for a second. Shut up for a second. I'm talking. But like if you consider being an expert just memorizing a bunch of line segment collisions with oriented bounding boxes and stuff like that, like being able to hand roll your own ray tracing formulae, I don't necessarily think that's a great thing to specialize in. Building something is going to always be the W, right? Being able to build a game all the way through, I think, is more useful for a much longer period of time than simply being able to do some algorithms. So when I say become an expert, I don't mean simply memorize everything there is for all the physics equations. Instead, learn to build big software. There you go. Okay. Give it to me, alerts. Cry, repeat, undo, delete. Nice. F. Kronos, thank you very much. I appreciate that, F. Kronos. I am a physicist. I don't like Elon, but I really admire the work of SpaceX. Yeah, SpaceX is incredible. I can't believe they actually have built what they have built, and they've made it just economically super cheap. I think that's my personal thing that I think is super impressive is how economically cheap it is for SpaceX. I forget what the stats are, but for NASA, I forget what it is. It's like $10,000 per kilogram or some large number. And for SpaceX, it's like $100 per kilogram. I can't remember the exact thing, but I just remember it being disproportionately it's 100x more expensive. And I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it was it's 100x cheaper. Yeah. I was just super impressed by whatever that was. I was like, wow, that's actually that's an accomplishment by itself. Ogsdu, thank you for that tier 2. I appreciate it. Lil Chewy, thank you for that tier 1. Muru, thank you for that Twitch Prime. Appreciate that. The run was dead. Thank you for that Twitch Prime. Let's go Disc 105. Thank you. Appreciate that. When Jippity eats enough of its own dog mess, we'll so be back. I don't even know if that's true. Matthias, thank you for that tier 1. And Last Loss, thank you for that tier 1. Jonathan Schmidt, thank you for the tier 1. Drone, thank you for the brand new Twitch Prime. And Kronos, thank you for that 5 gifted subs. Cryo to Dev, without a degree. Let's see, because of things I've built. I'm not sure what that means. Chiro to Dev. Well, I will thumbs up it. So AI may not kill programming. Let's see, but do you think it'll kill SAS? I do not think it'll kill SAS. That was probably the most insane take of all of the AI. Okay, yes, we're recording this. That's it. I'm doing this. I'm gonna say this out loud. I'm saying this. I'm definitely saying this out loud. The most insane take of the current AI hype cycle is that it was from the CEO of Microsoft that AI is going to kill all SaaS. That's a hell of a bet to make. To have all of your business rules be defined as a prompt, brother, that is a risk. Wow. To be fair, he's probably the best CEO that Microsoft has ever had. But this might be too risky of a statement. Brother is frontiering way too hard right now. I could not imagine trusting my bank account information to an AI to get it correct. Just so you know, I recently accidentally deleted my personal computer because I attempted to resize an encrypted drive and the AI gave me bad math back. It showed me the equation, the exact amount I needed to reserve in sectors, and then just gave me the wrong number. This multiplied by that equals this. I thought that was the thing I needed to do. Turns out it was completely wrong. Not even close to the multiplication. So do I trust AI for SaaS? No! No, in fact, I do not. Oh, what model did I use? Classic 01. Or was it Jippity 4? I think it was Jippity. To be fair, it was Jippity. Jippity 4. Hey, Speedchest, appreciate that. Thank you for the raid. How do you deal with the initial overwhelmed feeling as a beginning something? Oh, yeah, that kind of sucks. What I found... This is kind of okay. We got one more in us. We got one more in us. Okay, we're gonna do one more. Shut up. We got one more in us. I actually really like this question. How I deal with that initial feeling of being overwhelmed is not by focusing on the problem at hand. I think this is what a lot of people do. They see how daunting the problem is, and it's very hard to accomplish it. First, I think about the outcome. What do I actually want to see? And that kind of just motivates me to want to really solve this problem. Being able to build something that I really, really want is just motivating in itself. And then the second thing I do is instead of trying to look at this problem in its entirety, I pick out a singular item that I know I can solve, just some small part of it. Because I know if I can just solve one step, that one step is going to open up several more steps in which I will eventually solve this whole problem. I don't even try to plan out the whole thing. I simply pick one thing, and that is it. Yeah, start smart and large. Yeah, the thing is, you just don't even have to. Like, I think it's just a huge problem that people try to do is they try to create a roadmap. I genuinely think that's the big problem here is you try to create a roadmap of everything you need to do within this box, and it just does feel daunting. And I agree with you. Sometimes you just need one step because what it looks like is not a series of small steps. It's a series of interconnected steps. So as you solve this one right here, you find out that it's actually connected to 2 smaller tasks that you haven't solved yet. And then you can solve those 2. And then you realize it's connected to even more tasks that you did not realize. And then all of a sudden things start flowing. And then it's like you just don't even have enough time. And you're motivated by the end goal of the problem and you're excited for the outcome. I don't know why it didn't play this. Where'd it go? Wherever that 1,000 biddies go, hold on. I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it for you. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And then I think Thor and I need to chat. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, everybody. Sorry. She.
Gorilla, cigarette, snowflake, cigarette, snowflake, cigarette, snowflake, cigarette, snowflake, cigarette, snowflake, cigarette, snowflake.
Hey, I will steal my story points. Hell yeah, brother. That'd be so sweet. So many chats. Yeah, you have to have a fine-tuned, small one for your own GPU and see where it leads. Yeah. ZW, fun and fair. HDDs are black magic. We are spinning multiple of these magnetic thingies, and no, dude, it's super incredible. Dude, it's absolutely, it's insanity. I'm most certainly not, I never try to degrade those things. It's just like, that was, I mean, to be completely fair, back in the day when they had spinning drums that contained memory down this drum, and you had some sort of thing inside of here, like reading, I'm not sure how it read pieces of memory off here. I don't know exactly how it worked, but for you to be able to program, you had to learn about little omega. Like, that's crazy. Dude, when angular velocity was important for you to be able to program, just crazy, right?
Meat.
That's just crazy. Absolutely insane. Again, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, especially since Valorant also apparently gives subs when you gift 5. What a Christmas present. Appreciate that. Thank you, Last Loss, and thank you, Valorant. Software engineering for real. Yeah, that's when software engineering was actually software engineering. At least those were slow, not 15,000 RPMs with 10 layers and multiple. Yeah, but it's still so confusing. Like, to me, it's all confusing, right? Because I've never done that type of engineering. I would assume that level of electrical engineering takes just like a decade of studying, especially the people that made it up, right? They're the ones that were just like, you know what? I have an idea. Everybody sit back. I'm going to create something. Like, that's just incredible. That's a skill that is just so dang impressive. Right. Very, very impressive. Back when you had to be a nerd. Not only did you have to be a nerd, you had to be a nerd who was willing to sit through academia for like 10 years. That's just a much different world. Yeah. Yeah. The scary part is electricity is still somewhat. Oh yeah, I mean, for me, it's super mysterious. All that stuff is super mysterious. All right, let me see. I believe I'm calling up Thor. Yes. Ready. I'm just gonna call Thor and see what happens. Hey, thank you, Brain Spiller. Appreciate that, tier 1. Thor's in a raid right now? Brother. Mr. Noob, thank you for that, tier 1. We are supposed to talk about a sweet topic. Disappoint. How long? Raid faster. Geek is a specialization of the class nerd, is it? Bro appears to be balls deep in ALC. Yeah, apparently he is just all the way in. Just all the way. Timed out raid Shadow Legends. Good. You do that. You time out raid Shadow Legends. Okay, where? Hold on. Okay, let's go to TV. Sorry. New operating system. No autocomplete. By the way, thank you very much, Otzi Official. I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Noob, and thank you, Brain Spiller, again. What is Thor doing? Is Thor realizing that he has just been a naughty man? Why is it so laggy? Fox, thank you. What is going on? What is this? Can Firefox not do Twitch?
That one. That's so dumb. dude.
Daughter of Fergus with
Shut up.
I guess we're redoing this. All right, we're gonna rewatch him go through.
you do.
Oh, that was fantastic. I'm watching Twitch. No problem. Okay, well, I don't know what's happening. They wrote it with AI, so it works better. Thor doesn't use Cloudflare DDoS protection. I'm sure he does. Bot activity detected. Bot activity detected. Roche, my brother. Careful here. Holy cow! Thank you for the 2 gifted subs from Valorant by Gift and 10. Thank you, Mr. Noob. Appreciate that 10 gifted subs. Let's go. Let's go. 03 would have streamed it without lag. 03 would have done it so fast. Right. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate the 10. For real. Let's see. Firefox on my laptop. Can't use dedicated GPU for some reason. Oh, I wonder if that's it. Prime time? Dude, that's crazy that people call me that. That's why I'm going to be deep into tech, like building with Rust. What do you think? Deep into tech and building with Rust are kind of like 2 different things. I'd say just get really good. I love hey, Roche, brother Roche. What are you doing here? Brother Roche, what are you doing here? What are you doing? The real transformation will come from the software surrounding the LLMs, not AGI itself. Yeah. Let's see. Just say, show me the Firefox. I will. Okay. Well, how do I gift a sub? You click some menus somewhere? Do you think AI, NVIDIA, Microsoft Copilot is a bubble? PE is incredibly high. I don't think you need to care about PE as much as PE is attempting to price in the future. Holy cow.
Give it to me raw.
Holy cow. Thank you for the... Oh my gosh. Thank you for the 4 gifted subs and 3 bonus. What are these bonuses? Appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you, of course, obviously, for the 20. That is awesome. By the way, also, what's his name? Stocky was supposed to call me today. I don't know why he hasn't called me. He's not even on? What a loser. Are we... Wait, actually, I can't tell because it's doing that thing again. Stock guy's not even... Just stocky. What a loser. Literally texted me to be like, let me know, and then just lied. The end of the year bonus. The end of the year bonus is here. Get your gifted subs and save 30% on new subs until this. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Oh, hey, Vi, it's been a while. Hey, Vi. Hey, guy there, Vi. Did you see the honey scam? I did see the honey scam. I did see the honey scam. Your PC is dying? Oh, shoot. React to this article. Hey, brother, don't tell me how to live my life, okay? Appreciate that, Rink. Always, the bridesmaid. Hi, Prime. Hey. Hope the eye is better. The eye is somewhat better. I did see the honey stuff. You can go watch the article yourself. If you haven't seen it, the honey... Did I just start searching H? I'm going to try someplace else. You know what? Actually, I actually agree with you. You should try someplace else, and I'm going to just block you, honestly. That's crazy. That's crazy going into people's live streams and just be like, I'm testing a bot on your stream. That's crazy. That's crazy stuff right there. Explain a honey scam from the drawing. Yeah. I can explain the honey scam. It's pretty simple. So this is basically what the honey scam is that it's the following. It's that you go to a website, and let's say that you use Linus Tech Tips, just the tips, Linus, to go and find this computer. And you were really excited about this computer. And then what ends up happening? Honey's like, brother, I got a deal for you. And you go and you're like, man, Honey's going to give me an even better deal. Well, the moment you click this, Honey goes, well, actually, we don't got any deals, it turns out. But what Honey does underneath the hood is that they reset your cookie that's first pointing at Linus Tech Tips, just the tip Linus, and instead now points to Honey. So they effectively, by having it there, everybody that checks for a coupon anywhere, they get the affiliate for it. No matter where they check, no matter what service you use, they open up a hidden window, reset your affiliate code to theirs, and then they use it. Now, the best part about this is PayPal owns it. PayPal should probably get their crap together. Kind of disgusting, to be honest. It's pretty dang disgusting. That's the one of the two things that I know that I believe Honey does even more stuff than that, but that's as far as I know. Is that even legal? I would assume it's legal, and it's legal because you agreed to it in the terms of services. Glad to hear you're discussing this. I saw that video. Yeah, I didn't watch the video. I just saw the first like 15 minutes or 10 minutes of it. I was like, wow, that's real. Legal but unethical. I think this is where we start getting into the legal but unethical argument, which is that if you agree to use a service and they say that they will reset your cookies or whatever in their TOS, then it might be on you for not knowing that. Now, me personally, just to be completely real, I think that's bad. I think it's bad. That's all. I categorically, I just think it's bad. And apparently, also, Honey was also doing something where it's not giving you the best coupons. It's doing something else. I don't know what that other thing is, so I'm just not going to talk to it because I don't really know about it. Brave and bold statement. Thank you. I think it's bad because we live in a world in which there's no such thing as operating on the heart of the law. We only can operate on the letter of the law. And we also have a cajillion lines of law. And so since the heart of the law should say, hey, that's really bad behavior, and you shouldn't be able to confuse people with legalese to be able to effectively make money without them understanding, to me, that's the heart of the law. But the problem is the letter of the law says if you agree to certain behavior, that is on you, that's not on them. Right? The spirit of the law, yeah, that would be the spirit of the law, would be the heart of the law, right? Same idea, right? There's the heart and the brain, right? The brain is the law is also dictated by corporate. To some percent, yes. Yes.
We live in a society.
We live in a society, which is true, which is good. I mean, you have to also consider the other side, which is, do you want to live in a society that can run by the heart of the law versus the letter of the law? It could be pretty dangerous, right? Overall thoughts on a company trying to create a full AI version of software engineer. Devin is one of them. Magic Dev is also another one. I use Devin. I've been using Devin. I'm going to use Devin a bit more before I give like the full, this is what my thoughts are on Devin. But it's interesting, right? Legal is hard. Legal is really, really hard. Legal is really, 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 really hard. All right, well, Thor just bailed on me. Thanks, Thor. Hey, you know what? You can tell this to Thor. Hey, Thor, I got up this morning, worked out, got completely ready for our podcast, did extra research, had to go to the doctor because I got something in my eye, currently on eyeball medication because of that, readied and got excited to do a podcast with you. All these people in the chat are excited to do a podcast with you. We had an exciting topic that's both timely and needs to get out as soon as possible, but instead, you're rating on Ashes of Creation. Use code Thor with Ashes of Creation, by the way. Disgusting. Yeah, disgusting. All right. I don't know what else to do other than just say, for everyone to say that was a great podcast.
I'll bail these nuts on your chin.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's do this. I'm just going to rate Thor, and I want everybody to say, great podcast. Such wonderful insight. Great podcast. Such wonderful insight. Just amazing. Can't believe it. Great podcast. Wonderful insight. Braved. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Merry Christmas, everybody. I won't be live again for a while. I don't know. Maybe I'll be live on the 27th. I'm not really sure. There you go. Great podcast. All that good stuff. All right. Bye. By the way, thank you for that.